Okay, welcome back to math class. For all of 9-1, we were learning about how to graph quadratic equations. Today we're going to take that information that we've learned, take that skill of graphing them, and use that to solve the quadratic equation. Now, a solution of a quadratic equation is the place where the graph touches the x-axis. So, if I'm graphing a quadratic equation, and it winds up looking like this, then the places where it touches the x-axis are my two solutions for that quadratic equation. Now, a lot of graphs that we're going to be working with will have exactly two solutions because they're going to cross over the x-axis 2 times. But not all of them will. Some graphs, when you draw them out, will just have one solution because their maximum value will be on the x-axis. So they'll actually just have one solution. What's more than that is some quadratic equations, when you graph them, won't even touch the x-axis at all, in which case there are no solutions. So those are our three options, our 3 scenarios that we'll run into. Either it's going to have 2 solutions, it's going to have 1 solution, or it's going to have no solution. Pretty straightforward. You're just looking for the place where it crosses the x-axis. In order to find those solutions, once you've graphed it, we're looking for the x-intercepts. So you're going to follow all of the same steps as we've followed the last few days, graphing these equations. Once you get it all graphed, you're going to look for whatever this value is. In this case, -2. Looks like +3, just because I did this. So my 2 solutions there would be x equals -2 and x equals 3. Pretty straightforward. With this one, 1, 2, 3, -3, and it just had x equals -3 as its one solution. And with this one, you would just write no solution. One thing that I want to remind you of before you just launch into this whole assignment is that the standard form to graph a quadratic function, we've been talking about it for this whole chapter and the last chapter, the standard form for graphing a quadratic function is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. It has to look like that in order for you to follow the steps we learned yesterday, in order for you to graph it, and in order for you to find equations. So if you're doing your homework and you see a problem that says, find a solution for this equation, but the equation looks like 2x minus 3 equals 4x squared, that's not in standard form, and in order to graph it, what I have to do is I have to say minus 4x squared from this side, minus 4x squared from this side, and I get -4x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals 0. I have to rewrite it in standard form so that I can then do all of my 5 steps from yesterday, find the x-intercepts, and those will be your solutions. Make sure that you pay attention to that and you're not just pulling random numbers because it'll get you confused. But that's all I have for you today. You're going to do a great job at this.